name is Alex. I'm a founder of Dispatch Training Center. You guys have been following me for a while. And I can tell you this, I am not your ordinary instructor. I'm not a person who is gonna sweet talk to you and promise that you're gonna become a millionaire in trucking. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm very direct. It's not only business I have been into. So I look at the trucking from different perspectives, right? From insurance side, from owning the trucking company, for being a dispatcher, from liability, also being a woman in trucking. It's also a big topic which we should discuss. Running trucking company as a woman is very, very challenging. So first, let's see. If you guys have any questions, make sure you write them. If you my previous students or if you in my class right now, make sure you ask if you still confused about some subjects. But let's probably start with most popular scams. Let's start from our drivers, right? I know the driver is gonna say, well, we are angels, right? We do not scam. So what is the biggest scams that drivers do nowadays? And of course, it's fuel, right? So how driver can really scam you? Let's think about it. Well, the fastest way to figure out if your driver is scamming you is to look how many miles he have been driving this week. Let's say start from Monday till Saturday, and look how many gallons he put in that truck. Well, most of you business owners, you should know your MPG, correct? So if you take the full miles from your ELD, not from your fake added in everything, but hopefully your real ELD miles, and if you divide by those gallons, you will get MPG. It depends how old is your truck, how heavy the loads were this week. Well, it can vary, but not that much. So if you have a newer truck, probably your MPG is going to be between 7, 7.5, maybe 8 if you were not going through mountains. If you have a steady driver who knows how to drive, maybe you're lucky to hit that 8, but not more than that. So what is the red flag here? Well, you calculate that and your MPG for your 2024, 2023 truck or 2019 truck is only 5, 5.5, 6. What does it mean? That means that your driver is stealing fuel from you. And how do they do it? Well, on truck stop, you go to the owner operator and you tell him, listen, the diesel is $4. I'm gonna sell it for you for $3, but cash. He's taking your fuel card. He's putting that 100 gallons to somebody else's truck. There you go. Owner operator just save $1. So if he put 100 gallons, let's say, actually he saved money and your driver made cash. So dear owner operators and dear owners of the trucking company, please make sure you check your drivers. I know that sometimes you think that, no, my driver cannot do this, but market is tough. People actually going through survival, and if it's easy to make extra $200-300 a week, why not? So make sure you guys know how to check on that, right? So what else? What else going on? Well, how do the owners of trucking companies scam the drivers if you pay per mile? Well, here is also a big challenge for people who still fake ELDs, because usually when you manipulate your ELDs and you run a report in the end of the week to pay per mile, well, sometimes they're not gonna be accurate. That's one thing. A lot of companies do not include deadhead. So let me ask you this. If you paying for only loaded miles, correct? And your dispatch sucks and your driver deadheads all the time 150, 200 miles between the loads, do you think it's fair If you paying per mile, well, your driver's still driving. He goes to pick up, he goes to delivery. And if your dispatch team doesn't know how to eliminate empty miles, well, it shouldn't be his concern. So that's another scam. Why a lot of companies are not paying for those miles? Because simply, well, we're already in survival mode. Plus, if they pay for every mile, they probably would be already out of the business, right? Okay, insurance scams. Let me see if any of you lately got scammed, and be honest about it, especially for newer people. Because you try to activate your MC, you try to activate your USDOT number, you go, you get quote, and you are not ready for that. So you start shopping around. Remember, the moment you apply for that USDOT number, the moment you apply for that MC number, your records are public knowledge. That's why you're receiving so many phone calls that everybody calls you, and they sound like they're FMCSA, they sound they US DOT Department of Transportation, they sound like they drug and alcohol programs, and some of them are, but they are third-party providers. And a lot of times, insurance scammers call you, and they say, let's say, I like to use the name Mike, I don't know, it's easy to use. Hey Mike, with, let's say, Magic Transportation. Well, you want to activate MC. Progressive quotes are really high, but we have a newer insurance, and sometimes they even use their well-known insurance name, same as Progressive, and they tell, well, we can get you better quote. And they actually fake quote for you. What they ask you? Well, they ask you for your routing number, or they ask you to wire down payment for your new policy. And of course, when you see the difference, let's say between regular policy $22,000 a year, and now suddenly they are offering you $15,000 and they are asking for $6,000 down payment, in your head, what are you doing? Well, you're thinking, I am saving $7,000-8,000 a year. And you wire the money, you give them banking account, they even send you actually a fake certificate of insurance. Time goes by and your MC is not even getting active. You start calling FMCSA, what's going on? And FMCSA tells you, well, we cannot activate your MC because you still don't have insurance on file. You start reaching out to this agent, you start emailing them, and finally you figure it out. Wow, this is a Google form. Wow, that email does not exist any longer, and you cannot reach anyone. So, dear new owners, or owners who've been in business but you are looking to save that money on insurance, well, double check who you're working with. Make sure that those are real licenses. Make sure that they really work as insurance agents, and never ever wire any money unless you confirm. So when you apply and you fill out the application and you have underwriter, well, you can call and see, is this a real company? So please do not jump for those cheap insurance. Let me tell you, as insurance agent, they do not exist. If we would have possibility to have so good insurance coverage for brand new carriers, well, I would have so many carriers waiting, right, in my office. But the reality is, it's a high liability business. And until you're going to be 2 years in business, and until you have drivers who have CDL for 2 years, your insurance will be high. And most of you are not ready for this. So write down, before you go and pay money for that MC, get the quote and know the reality, because insurance will be one of the biggest costs in your operational cost. After that, it's going to be your equipment, right?